Goloka Swami ki jai. So again, welcome all the assembled devotees and everybody who has joined us through Zoom. 34 people on Zoom, and are you also on Facebook?
No, it's not fast enough to do that.
Oh, okay, all right, so you're 34 on Zoom.
It's recorded, we'll put it on Facebook later.
I have to say that as interesting as it is to celebrate this way, I am so grateful that Goloka have allowed our Guru to relish his Vyasa Puja having had enough sleep. Because I don't know how many of you are aware of what he's been doing every year. That he flies in from some other country, he's just celebrated Vyasa Puja, I don't know, Fiji, Australia, somewhere else in the world. He flies in, celebrates here, and then that very night he flies to India and attends GPC meetings or I don't know, straight to Goloka. And so everyone's glorifying him, and he's sitting there trying to keep his eyes open, and I'm like, how is this worshiping the Guru or torturing him by keeping him up all night? So I'm actually very grateful that he's here having enough sleep. So we'd like to ask all of you to present your offerings. Starting, did you want to say something?
What's that?
Is there anything you'd like to say before we begin?
Maybe someone could try calling on WhatsApp Krishna Nama. On WhatsApp.
He's ready to do a FaceTime actually whenever.
FaceTime, I don't have Apple. I don't believe it's against my religion. What about WhatsApp?
I have FaceTime.
Well, I don't know. He may be using that as a euphemism. I think he's expecting a WhatsApp call.
Okay.
Can someone call? I can't use my phone because that's my internet connection right
Let
now.
me try to see if I can get them.
Does anyone have WhatsApp and also Krishna Nam's number? Use Krishna Nam. Let me turn on this thing. For those of you who don't know, Krishna Nam right now is in the hospital, and he's, how to put this? He's going for home hospice in another day or two, and doctors have given him more or less when they take away the IV that he has for his heart, keep the heart going. Doctors have given him maybe a week or so. So I wanted him to be able to participate while he's still able to do so. You calling him?
I have.
He said he was fighting exhaustion, so he might not be.
You have him on it? If you can give me your phone, then I can.
Thank you for this honor.
Yeah, I have my phone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Nam. Do you see me?
Yes, I see you. Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, the Puja.
What's great?
To be here.
Well, you're here in spirit with us. We're really missing you. I'm going to come and visit you tomorrow around noontime, if that's all right. All right.
Yeah, but I want to say that I'm just eternally grateful to you, and just want to start keeping me start attending the temple. Way back when it was my local, devotees, just someone was surrendering. I knew that was just, a key to it all, and I saw something to simplify that term, surrender, and how
service eternally.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's, I just, you know, I say it and see it time after time how you walk, not only walk, talk to talk, you walk, higher girls walk, talk to talk, the same thing. You do it, I mean, you just set a fine example, and that means that, you know, that means growing up to him, and just your support. I use for, just, yeah, just as a dear friend, I mean, too.
Wow.
That means something you know, I've grown, you know, I've grown to, have you a special place in my heart, and I always cherish that, and I deeply love you, and want you to know that.
Thank you very much. So I want you to get the blessings of everyone here.
Just very fine look at the boys. I love all of you guys. Love all of you, and I appreciate your association over the years. Just a chance to serve. And I'll tell you, I wish if it was my choice, that would be the first thing I wanted to do, getting out of here, going back and serving at Goloka.
Wow.
Yes, I love you. I just, you know, you find, you know, that purpose in those days, or whatever time I had left was, you know, service. I appreciate that. That was truly a gift, and you know, I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm very grateful.
All right, so we'll see you tomorrow, Krishna. I look forward to seeing you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, and once again, yes, please.
And thank you
Hare
for
Krishna.
joining us. Hare Krishna. Okay, so Stuart, that was amazing, John. So just to fill you in, I mean, he could be leaving his body at any moment, and Krishna consciousness has given him the courage to face that. I mean, conquer death. The devotee can actually conquer death. It's just amazing. Just amazing. So why don't we start with the offerings and I'll speak last.
All right, so we have actually quite a few devotees here. We also have many devotees on Zoom. So everyone can try to keep their offerings down to maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And we'd like to start with Gurudev's God brothers and God sisters. We have some present here and some who are presenting their offerings to other people. So, Mother Sati, would you like to give an offering?
I also just got an offering for him from Duka Country when there's time I can read it also.
Why don't we start with that one? Is that all right?
Is that all right?
Yeah. Just pass around the microphone.
So, wait. This is an offering.
Wait, speak into the microphone so we can hear you.
This is an offering from Duka Country, because I see her here on Facebook, and I'm going to read her offering in public. I offer my humble obeisances to His Holiness Bear Krishna Goswami on this most auspicious day of his appearance. Thank you, Maharaj, for all the years of your selfless dedication to the new Goloka community and your staunch commitment pushing forward the mission of our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. All glory to your service, and again, thank you for giving us your association, your humble servant, Duka Country Devi Dasi.
Okay, who's next? Sadhu. Yeah, speak into the mic so that I can hear you.
So, I was thinking about when Srila Prabhupada was Madam, and he was crying every night, saying what was coming at night, and he was begging Srila Goswami to, because his spiritual master had given him an impossible task. And Srila Prabhupada has been so kind and so amazingly dedicated to the order of the spiritual master that because of him, it became possible. And when I see your life, I can see that you're also making something that personally and for many, many devotees that I know, what could be impossible possible. Because you're so attached to Prabhupada, and your only desire is to please him. So, because of that, he's empowering you to do something amazing, to make the impossible possible. And when I look at how the temple is growing so nicely, how the devotees are becoming nicer and nicer, it's true. I see it anyway. Then, I can see that your guidance and your care for all the devotees is like you're an amazing gardener. And I thank you very much for all the, actually I remember today that, I believe it was 10 years ago or 13 years ago, but because I went twice, with you, but to India. And I called you and I said, I don't think I can make it because my feet won't make it. And you gave me this trick that really worked. And because of that, you made the impossible possible. You remember that one?
I remember that, yeah.
So I am very, very grateful. Thank you very much.
Viva!
Thank you very much. So I think you like to the other shoulders. Okay.
This is from His Grace Vidyas and His Grace Vidyas. On this auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja, we would like to thank you for leading the Goloka, which is an ideal Krishna conscious community. You have the wonderful qualities of empathy and compassion, which you have woven together into the fabric of our ISKCON of NC community. It is so heartwarming to see new devotees taking shelter of the Lordship Sri Sri Radha Golokananda and preaching programs at UNC and NC State flourishing. We are happy to take part in preaching programs like Harinam Sankirtan and see how our community is fostering young devotees in 2 community schools. After traveling to so many Krishna conscious communities over the years, Rajani and I always feel good coming back to the best devotee-friendly community in the USA. Thank you, dear Krishna Goswami, for your service to Srila Prabhupada and to his movement. Your servants, Krishna Das and Rudrani Devi Das.
Who's next?
नमाम ओम विष्णु प्रदाय कृष्ण विस्ताय भूतले श्रीमती कृष्ण गोस्वामी के नाम में नमाम ओम विष्णु प्रदाय कृष्ण विस्ताय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति गोस्वामी के नाम में नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी कृष्णानी देवशेष श्रीनिवास आश्रिताश्रमी ओम ज्ञानानंद स्याज्ञानानंद स्वाध्याय चक्षुर्मीलितं कामेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Dear Srila, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. I am very happy to have the opportunity to honor you on this most important day of your Vyasa Puja. This has inspired me to reflect on what is the actual goal of life and to purify my heart by remembering the importance of sadhu sangha and the amazing lineage that we are connected to through Srila Prabhupada and his dearest servants, such as yourself. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stressed how important it is to have sadhu sangha, not only to begin one's spiritual life, but to also receive instruction on how to progress and attain the love and service of Radha and Krishna. By your example, you show how to be surrendered with body, mind, and words to serving with loving devotion one's spiritual master. You are always focused on pleasing Srila Prabhupada, and this is a guiding direction of your life. In your own way, you are revolutionary, always willing to go out of the box to give people the opportunity to chant the holy names. Your dedication to the service of Shri Shri Radha Goloka has brought many to their shelter. I am always amazed by your complete steadiness in all your activities and ability to adapt to any circumstance and always remain joyful. You always look for the good in others and turn away from any faults, especially mine. I can write many examples how you manifest so many wonderful Vaishnava qualities. Your love for the previous acharyas and the Holy Dham has always been a great inspiration for me personally. You have done so much to help me in my spiritual life for so many years. I don't know what would have happened to me if I had not come under your guidance. You gave me the greatest gift, service to Shri Shri Radha Goloka and residence in the Holy Dham here in Goloka. How can one so foolish as myself really understand your good qualities which are beyond the modes of material nature? I pray that you forgive me for my offenses and allow me to somehow or other stay focused and serve Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas and to be under your shelter.
1985, right? So in the days.
I noticed that a Portland Humvee around soon.
Yeah, you want to let them say so? Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Where are they? I got to take them off. There on the second page.
There's a picture of them down bottom, right here. Down the bottom center. They're also,
They're here.
oh, they're here. We're looking for you on the computer screen and you're at the door. Okay.
Okay.
Would you like to
Yes, I will. First of all, I wanted to acknowledge, I actually sometimes say this on Srila Prabhupada's Opinions Day. And what I say is, you know, if it wasn't for Srila Prabhupada, none of us would be here today. So in a similar way, if it wasn't for Guru Krishna Maharaj, we would not be here today. The austerities that he went through to bring Sri Sri Radha Goloka, to bring this temple, is just unparalleled. He has made this wonderful facility for all of us. Blood, sweat, and tears, and also all of you devotees who started out here. I've been here for 2 decades. And noticed, especially in the last few years, unbelievable facilities that Krishna has blessed him with. And I've known Guru Krishna Maharaj since 1977. I had the good fortune of being in Goloka. I moved there, and he was working with the BDT, Spanish. I think, Maharaj, you were?
I'm here. Hey.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's not a break.
The senior moment. So, were you the person in charge of the Spanish BDT?
Yes.
Okay, so always I've seen him in a very rabbinical preaching position and serving Srila Prabhupada. This is the secret of success if one wants to go back home, back to Godhead with Srila Prabhupada. And that is to have Guru Nishta. And Guru Krishna Maharaj has that very much. I see in his daily life and how he executes his devotional service. His Guru Nishta means love for Srila Prabhupada. And one thing that I've noticed throughout the years is his commitment to what Srila Prabhupada called our routine daily work. As a matter of fact, I was in Vrindavan for 9 months, and every day I went to Srila Prabhupada's quarters and saw a letter that was posted from the archives, exchanged letters with devotees and Srila Prabhupada. And in 75% of those letters, devotees were complaining or having spiritual difficulty, or having any kind of difficulty. And Srila Prabhupada always emphasizes our routine work. If you get up and go to Mangala Arti, as Maharaj has very steadily over the 30 years that I've known him, every day, come hell or high water, he's there. And we all have the most wonderful experience if we get there at 4:30 every Mangala Arti has been way off the charts, ecstatic. And this is how we start our day. The devotees here that he engages, especially this management position of Leela Shakti, has really been a key, pivotal decision that has made a huge difference. Not only does she do 24/7 devotional service following in the footsteps of her Guru Maharaj, but every single person in her family is also fully engaged. So this is the process of devotional service that Krishna gave us, Srila Prabhupada gave us. And if we follow in the footsteps of other wonderful and great devotees like Guru Krishna Maharaj, we will be on that path back home, back to Godhead. Now, I have to admit, all of the years that I've been here, there's been a lot of ups and downs. But the amazing thing that I see in Maharaj is that he has a very intimate and close connection with the deities that he personally picked in India and came back with them and took personal care of them and engaged other devotees in one of the highest standards of deity worship that's available that I know of, at least in the United States. So he has an amazing connection, and we experienced that just last week. Maharaj gave a very interesting class, I think it was Wednesday, about Krishna's flute. And he told different stories about how the flute was stolen and how with Srimati Radharani and other devotees. And at the end of the class, a very interesting occurrence happened. When we opened the curtains, Krishna's flute wasn't there. So, that was not an accident. Krishna was reciprocating with all the devotees and with Maharaj to confirm the potency of that class and how amazing it was that somehow or other, not by accident, the Pujari forgot the flute. It was very wonderful. So I feel very happy to be here today, and every day of our lives. Maharaj has always encouraged me in my service. I even remember when I was in LA and I wasn't completely satisfied with my service there. And Maharaj actually was the temple president of Miami. I think you just took sannyas, wasn't it? Yeah. And he invited me for a week to take up the opportunity to be a head cook. So I very much appreciate his service to Srila Prabhupada, and we can all take full advantage of that by getting his association, especially now in COVID. It's actually a special benediction that he's sitting tight and giving personal instructions and there every single day at the morning program, giving nectar devotion class every night. He's available. He makes himself available because he cares about devotees, each and every one of you. And that's why I'm still here after all these years, and I'm so glad to have his Sangha. Thank you very much, Maharaj. All glory to the transcendental loving service.
Best truck. I can say that because I've seen the boss for him.
Okay, yes, food.
No, that's good. Not my own.
We're having a request from one of the devotees on Zoom that people remove their masks when they speak. So, Addition Ryan was getting wipes. I'll wipe it down every time. Is that
Okay, good.
Okay.
I think there's one devotee who needs to take rest on Zoom. It's Radha Sundari. She wanted to participate. Let's see if she's still there. Oh my God, I can't even see her. Actually, I know how to see her.
She's in the middle.
And she said she wanted to, because she won't be able to participate in the other one. Here she is. Let me unmute her. Radha Sundari, you can unmute yourself and say a few words if you like. You wanted to speak?
One second, Gurudev.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Namam, Hare Krishna, Namam Vishnu, Hare Krishna, Namam Vishnu, Goswami, Om Agyan, I usually don't speak much, Gurudev. I've always said thank you to you. But today I would like to say that we are very grateful to have you as a Gurudev. You are very kind, very humble, and very tolerant person. And with this COVID-19, we get to associate with you as much, as possible. And it has brought all the God sisters and all God brothers together. We get to associate, I get to associate with all my, most of my God brothers and sisters. It's just because of you, Gurudev. With, you have the Zoom. And there's lots of things you have done in my life. You have guided me in all different ways. You have stabilized me in my spiritual life. There was times where I was like going, berserk, like, but you pulled me and you brought me back in this world, in this Krishna conscious, because I didn't know what to do. And I have sent you my offering, but I can't read my offering, Gurudev, because I'm using my phone to talk to you. Yeah, I'm very, very glad that I associate with all my God brothers and sisters through you, Gurudev, and several times in a one day I see you. You do your deity worship, you do Mangala Arti, your Bhagavatam class, Guru Puja, Tulsi Arti. It is very, very good because I have not known you the way I'm getting to know you now, Gurudev. It's just like you associated with Prabhupada, and I never get to associate with you in that way. But I'm really grateful with this COVID-19 that I get to associate with you as much as I can. Thank you, Gurudev, for letting me speak today.
Thank you very much,
Hare
Rosa.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
She's in, let me turn this back. She's in Australia, and this is the only time she can speak. Normally we're having the Vyasa Puja for Australia on Tuesday, but she wasn't able to participate on Tuesday because it's too late in the night for her. Okay.
Would you like to speak?
If we can be rather quick, otherwise we're going to be here till Tuesday. I don't know if I can deal with that.
Hey Krishna, Kevin so.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Dear Krishna Maharaj, Namo Krishna Krishna Please accept my humble obeisancy into the rest of the lotus feet. I am very pleased to be able to glorify you on the auspicious day of your appearance. Your deeper and deeper realization of your absolute truth, you are showing how to live with the truth, to remember Krishna and relate to him as a person. An example of worshipping and following the greatest acharya in the uplifting to those of others who are struggling in the lower consciousness. You are an extraordinary personality, can see only victory ahead. To lead the way on the path of detachment, knowledge, and devotion. You always try to engage your mind, body, and words in Krishna's service. You are also always constantly engaged in the Srila Prabhupada's service, humbly pushing on his mission to spread Krishna consciousness movement everywhere. Srila Gurudev, you are most humble and merciful to your sincere followers and also other devotees like me. We always notice that your business is to bring fallen souls to the spiritual platform and always guide them. Please be kind to us and grant us more your divine association. All glories to Sri Gurudev, on your auspicious day. Your humble servant, Satya Krishna.
Satchivananda ki jai. I've known Satchivananda for so many years now, too. I used to visit him in Belmont. Remember?
Yes.
That's when it used to be a hotel.
Dear Shri, you have brought me closer to Srila Prabhupada's Lord's feet than anyone else I've ever known. You have always exemplified his teachings to me and to everyone else. You have brought alive the teachings of our Jagaguru Srila Prabhupada, and you have brought alive the service to the deities here in Goloka to a highest level possible. So I'm very happy to be here, be serving deities, to be serving you, to know that Srila Prabhupada is pleased. He's pleased with you, he's pleased with all who are following you and worshiping Mother Goloka in your footsteps. Please help us to be humble, please help us to be dedicated like you are. Please help us to become more like you. You are an exemplary person in this community. Please bless us all to become pure devotees one day, so that we don't have to struggle with material cravings all day anymore. Please be kind to us. You are merciful, you are kind to the devotees, and we wouldn't be anywhere without you. So thank you very much for being our Guru today. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. She's from Colombia, so I want to have her do it right now. I promise her. I'm going to leave the chat window open so you can see the chats too. That's interesting. So Chitra, you're going to unmute yourself now? I just gave you permission.
Thank you, Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Please receive my humble obeisances. Do you hear me? Yes?
I have to turn off my sound when you're doing this, so I'm hearing you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, but you can hear me. Yes. Thank you, Gurudev. Om Anjana Timirandasa Yanam Yanam Salakayam Chaksurum Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Well, to write this, which I sent for the book, I was wondering, what did I do so well in past lives to deserve your causeless mercy in this life? In my search for something that would fill me, I found all the answers on this path of bhakti, but it was really until I found you that I began to walk this glorious path guided by the torch of knowledge that you lit for all of us. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you for every step you have taken to guide us on this path of pure and eternal love and service. Thank you because each of your teachings, each response, each answer that you have sent through email, each paragraph that I have translated from your book to Spanish, each smile full of prema that you have given us in your visits to Mexico, where I live. I'm from Colombia, but I live in Mexico. They all have been gifts that I treasure in my heart, for I know that they are reminders to my spirit about the way back to the eternal spiritual abode of Radha and Krishna. At the beginning of this year, I asked Krishna to please, please, please come closer to him, and who would say that his answer came in the form of a pandemic and the consequent daily classes that you started giving. That's why every time I think about the challenges and difficulties of this particular time in life, they immediately get smaller. And what stands out and fills me with joy is the fact of being able to meet with you virtually every day. Well, I was able to do it like for several months now. Have been more busy, but it has been a blessing. Listening to your Once Upon a Time makes me feel like a child, and I really, really appreciate that. All the stories that you tell us, full of love for Krishna. I pray Krishna to fill you with health and allow you to share your light with us for much longer. I also pray that I can transcend my many limitations so that I can serve you with all my strength and with all my heart. And to be honest, in my deepest longings, I imagine being with you. Well, I don't know when, but I pray Krishna that I can see you again. And that I also pray that sometime I can go back to India. Well, I was there once, but I didn't even know Krishna, so I really would love to visit India with you. Thank you, Gurudev. Feliz cumpleaños. It's the way we say happy birthday in Spanish. Happy Vyasa Puja, and please receive all my humble obeisances. Your aspiring servant, Chitralekha Devidasi. That's it.
So many nice devotees. Well, we here for about 10 years. Goloka, who's that? Take your mask off, please.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Joshua, please accept my humblest obeisances. I'm not going to read the offerings that I wrote, and I'll speak spontaneously if that's all right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this saying we have in the West, a reality check. And when someone gives you a reality check, usually it's something negative, like people are very Pollyanna or pie in the sky, and they need a reality check to bring them back down to the reality of suffering in this world. But you give us a daily reality check that brings us up from focusing and wallowing in our suffering, and give us the reality check that actually everything is going on exactly as it should, and that Krishna has a plan. The plan is good, and if we just trust it, we'll actually be happy. So thank you for that daily reality check. I sure need it. Hare Krishna.
So are you going to write the reality check?
It's in Melbourne.
You just set yourself up.
So I have like 3 to 5 minutes earlier, but looking at all the wonderful devotees who have assembled here and all of them on Zoom, I'd like to encourage you to keep it to maybe 3 or 5 sentences. Okay? So just keep in mind, the shorter yours is, the more people can speak. Remember how I started out by saying that it's so wonderful reading about no sleep? So let's make sure you get to go to sleep. Okay? All right, so there's this wonderful family visiting here from Philadelphia, and they need to head back right away. So I'd like to know if Abhishek would like to speak.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Namo Om Shivaya Krishna Hare Krishna. Shivaya Krishna Hare Namo Om Shivaya Krishna Hare Krishna. Today on this special occasion, I would like to thank you for giving me shelter at your lotus feet. I'm so grateful to you, Gurudev, for taking care of my family so nicely and guiding all of us always in our spiritual life. I was only 7 years old when my brother took initiation from His Holiness Goswami. Then I started thinking of initiation. What is initiation? What is a spiritual master? What is the relationship between a spiritual master and their disciple? Since I was a baby, I saw you come to our house on different occasions, especially on my brother's birthday, and spend quality time with us, guiding us in various ways. While growing as a baby, I always saw you, how personal you are with everything, how practical and reasonable are your approaches to Krishna consciousness. I wanted to share one incident. We were given class in our house and I was disturbed. When my mom asked me to be quiet, I said no way. And then you immediately started throwing grapes at me. To distract my attention, you said yes way. And then again, you continued your class. And in between, you threw another grape at me and said yes way. And I was watching you doing that with me till the end of the class. After the class, you gave a general statement that you should never say no to a kid without giving them another alternative. After that, I felt very connected to you, as you did not tell me not to do something, rather it kept me engaged in catching grapes, and you finished the lecture without any disturbance. So since I was 10, I loved watching and listening to your classes, and always enjoyed your humorous qualities. You are an inspiration for determined preaching and unconditional love for Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. This quality of yours helped me get my answers that I had in mind, which I explained earlier. I'm so fortunate that my material name, Arpa, was given by you when I took birth, and after 13 years, you took me at your shelter as Akasishidas. Please bless me so I can continue in advance of my spiritual life and be able to assist in spreading Srila Prabhupada's mission. Hare Krishna, to your servant Akasishidas.
Okay. Go ahead. No, that's all right. That's one line. But you go.
No. After the letter.
Okay, so going on, you asked me to ask you to speak. So going on, you're on mute now. So I'll leave it on mute. Let's see if it does it.
I think he's just on the phone.
Yeah, he's on the phone. I know. I don't. Well, he did. Okay. All right. Can you say something?
Srila Gurudev, are you talking to me? Because I got a request to unmute.
You were unmuted already. You can start speaking.
Oh, okay. Hi, Krishna Gurudev. Please tell my obeisances. Bhagwan Prabhupada. When I first met you in New Orleans in '92, you had just arrived to help manage a dilemma that had befallen the temple community there. All the devotees were in crisis. The temple management was in shambles. The future of the New Orleans Yatra was on shaky ground. You dealt with this situation with resilience and grace, leaving the temple in a better state than you'd found it. Throughout the years following, I've seen you expertly deal with crisis after crisis, fighting to keep Srila Prabhupada's ship from sinking and inspiring devotees all the while. When my first Diksha Guru abandoned his post and his disciples, it was none other than you who was sent in to take control at the helm. The choice to take shelter in your instruction and accept reinitiation under your guidance was such an obvious one to me, because all you've ever shown is the deepest level of surrender to Guru and Krishna. Even after my own fall from grace, you kindly accepted me back as if nothing had changed. Your love for your disciples is palpable and your surrender is contagious. You've remained steadfast and strict in your personal practice while being lenient and tolerant with others and theirs. Always early to rise and eager to chant, constantly invested in your disciples' welfare, and unconditionally devoted to your beloved Govardhan Shila, you never pass on an opportunity to help Prabhupada's ISKCON. As your disciple, I can only hope to please you with my preaching and follow you back home, back to Krishna's lotus feet. So I vow here and now to not let you down. Thank you for accepting me and what little I have to offer. Your servant Govardhan Das.
Govardhan is running a vegetarian delicatessen. Yeah, and he just sent me, he previously sent me some bagels and vegetarian lox. Yeah. Yeah, so, and it's been, I assume it's very successful, but it's vegetarian. Everything is vegetarian.
It's vegan, isn't it?
Vegetarian bagel, yeah. So you can go there. If you go to Portland, you would go. Okay, so Sugardash next. Let's keep it really short. I only expect 20 people here.
So it depends upon how you count, maybe.
Yeah.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Vishnu Bhakti Vedanta Swami Om Gyan Kundav Sagyan Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Anyway, since everybody is saying always say two sentences, so I'm not going to read. But Maharaj, I'm really thankful for blessing. When I was single, you blessed me, and then when I had the family, you blessed the whole family. I have no words to thank you for always keeping me engaged in Krishna consciousness, and especially your love for Srila Prabhupada is amazing, and that at least gives me little respect to do something for you and my spiritual master, Jagabir Maharaj. But without you, I don't think I would be in this movement. And like even today, during this pandemic time, you were so careful and you wanted us to come here, but you said, don't take a flight, drive and come. So that was amazing, and you blessing Adishesh and my Darshan Krishna Das since he was born. With this Navkala I get this Hillsborough, New Goloka is my family, and you always kept me under your care and blessings, and I'm really thankful to you. And on behalf of my family, I really want to offer my gratitude, indebted to you always. So wish one day, just like how I'm hearing all the devotees are going back to Godhead, one day you can deport me also. That means you have to live for long time and live for everybody to be led by God. Happiness to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there's anybody else who needs to leave really quickly. That's why we felt keep it short. Okay, so three 5 sentences. All right, at this time.
Thank you so much. This is most humble obeisances at the lotus feet. All glories to you, all this to the Prabhupada. Maharaj, since it's 3 5 sentences, I just made it as one. So that's what I would like to thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this new community. I feel so fortunate to be here, and it's really, often I think about that, it's so fortunate to be in a place where you have such a beautiful community, and you have such a pure devotee who's here, leading the place in such an exemplary way, and guiding us all in the mission to Srila Prabhupada. It's just such a great fortune, so I'd like to thank you for that. And thank you always for guiding me. Second point I certainly want to thank is after the departure of my Guru Maharaj, it's just so touching, like how you came forward and you're actually supporting all of my God family. It's just, like I have no words to thank you. And all the disciples are so grateful to you, and I don't know how many devotees know, but Maharaj actually guiding the God family all over the world in continuing Goswami Maharaj's legacy, and he's inspiring us, and it's just amazing, your glorious service. So thank you on behalf of entire disciple family of Goswami Maharaj. And thank you for so much for your care and your inspiration and your consolation and guidance during these times. Also, Maharaj, like last couple of months, somehow I was in some calls with you on Zoom calls, which were like international calls, and like during those meetings, the Zoom meetings, I was appreciating so much your mood of keeping Srila Prabhupada in the center. Like, we had meetings with like 5 hours, so I was appreciating that how many Zoom meetings you have to attend, like, every day and every week. But one of the calls was like 5 hours, we had this meeting, but again and again appreciating how you were like so bringing everyone back to the main core essence of Srila Prabhupada's mood, rather than going into details of whether we should do this, and bringing everyone to what is our bigger picture, how we can serve Srila Prabhupada. And I was really so impressed and so inspired, and I was learning so much just by how you were, guiding the whole meeting. So I really want to thank you for that. And yes, Maharaj, so thank you so much, and I beg you, please consider me your own insignificant servant, and please guide me, chastise me, please give me instructions, and please guide me on my way back to the Lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, the Lotus feet of spiritual master. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Probably all of our preachers, I just simply Krishna, especially during the Zoom meetings. The only way to go with 5 hour Zoom meetings is just keep giving up, right? But it is intense. 5 hour, 6 hour meetings sometimes. You going? We have to drive back. But thank you for joining us. Good afternoon. We'll see you soon in Philadelphia. As soon as I get a vaccine. Talk to this. Is that for shopping?
Yeah.
Okay. They have to drive back because they have to go back to school tomorrow morning. Not Shubha doesn't have to go to school. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, who's next? Engage?
No. Okay, I was going to ask Madhav to go next.
All right, Madhav, and then Rishikesh.
Hare Krishna Dev, please accept my humble blessings to your lotus feet. So much to say, so all I can say is really I love your classes, and you make it so simple and easy with so much humor. We enjoy every moment being with you. And the way you work and try always to serve Prabhupada in different ways, and this community of Hillsborough is the result of your dedication and your love for Srila Prabhupada. And we all can see how it has developed so nicely, and so much wonderful devotees around here. We love to be around them. And so especially I'd like to thank you this time, this COVID time. Actually got more association of yours, because we always lament for your association. You're traveling all over the world, helping everybody, of course, but we want to be, I especially want, very selfish, I want to have a lot of your association and your classes. And first time I learned from A.G. Bhagavad Gita, and made it so complicated, so difficult to understand, very high level philosophy, but very skillfully choose simple street level examples, and you make us understand. It's just your skills, tremendous tremendous love for all of us, and I'd like to say thank you so much for everything, for your favor. The mercy goes to everyone, each and everyone in the community. You are loved by all so much, and simply the presence of people, as you expected 20, you can't stop at 20. So that's how it is. It shows how much people love you in this community. And you are so easily accessible, simple. I can go on talking about this, and everyone has noticed this. So I'd like to thank you for everything you do and providing your shelter to us. We are very thankful to you, your insignificant servant, Madhav Das Lakshmi Devi Dasi. I don't deserve what you do for us, but thank you so much. Happy birthday, and I hope that and pray to Sister Radha Goloka that you will live for a long time healthy, so we can continue to get your guidance and we can associate, and we are help. We need tremendous help to move forward in our Krishna conscious life. Thank you, Maharaj, again for everything.
Who is next? Rishikesh?
Rishikesh Guru.
Shivalaya Krishna Shivalaya Krishna Shivalaya Krishna Shivalaya Krishna Namaste sir. Today we accept my humble obeisances, the best of this reasons, most auspicious day of happiness. What I have learned is that without sacrifice there is no love. And this is what I have learned from you. Your love is expressed the kind of sacrifice you do for others. That's the true meaning of love. And you are also the emblem of this pure devotional service as guided by the Goswami and our last Goswami, Yamadama and Marga. Anubhaya Krishna Shriram Bhakti. You are the womb of this verse of the guide for what it means to be pure devotee. Thank you so much for personally, I am the home of all of us. I really do not follow any strict spiritual duties. But your merciful spirit is the only hope I have. So, please, thank you for everything. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. I guess we have time now to talk about pastimes I have with each devotee like that. The train we missed. We're in the train station in Mathura, and the ticket was for another day. So we had to take the train to the train. Remember that? And we had to take the train with all the chickens and it was,
You did almost go there, you were on the
yeah, you were in third class. Because they had the wrong kind of ticket. But on the way back, we went first class. That was nice. All right, so. Who's that? Jagadguru.
Beautiful, good. Happy Appearance Day. I want to thank you especially for always providing such a peaceful atmosphere for devotees to continue practicing Krishna consciousness. I had one experience where I worked with another spiritual master, and he allowed his disciples to overextend themselves and push themselves so much to the breaking point. And that, when I saw that happen, then I suddenly realized that you protect your disciples from getting to that point, to the breaking point. You always arrange things so that they're able to just do their service peacefully. You always resist over endeavor things that are going to really get us all out of whack. And so when I saw that, I really saw the contrast, and I really appreciate you're always keeping us in a peaceful state, providing so much stability so that we can continue to practice for our whole lives.
And Christian wishes me to pray before. That's his business. If we have to do any more hours of Zoom than I'm doing now, I'm gonna have to get, these glasses that you just put on some virtual reality all the time. I'm thinking seriously about it. It's not a bad idea. Okay.
Namadar Kriya.
Namadar Kriya, the great cook.
Places in my humble faces, our Lord, to you, our Lord, glory to show our God. To my dearest spiritual Father, I offer my most heartfelt prayers and blessings to you on this day of your most glorious appearance. It gives me pleasure to have the opportunity to say a few words, although it's well known when speaking, unless I have it written down at times like this, I tend to stumble over my words. It is not a bad thing, but I better express myself in writing. Thank you for accepting me under your wing, giving me shelter, loving and caring for me unconditionally, and allowing me to be myself, not having to pretend and be like someone I am not, serving the best way possible for me. Your daily practices by your example demonstrate what it takes to be a balanced, spiritually and focused, yet still taking time to exercise and take care of yourself. After all, these bodies belong to the Lord. And if we want to keep giving him our best, we also need to take care. You strongly but gently encourage us not to take help for granted. My progress is slow, but I have been more totally focused on this especially the last 2 years. Let me say this with all honesty. I feel you have many talents and are expert in so many that if I even attempted to name them all, I would surely fall short. In any case, the Lord has blessed you with your many abilities to do so many things so well. With this being said, maybe I'll subject a bit my understanding, activities we do, be it cooking, cleaning, majority work, mowing grass, using your computer, taking care of yourself, eating, etc. If we put Krishna in the center, it also becomes spiritual. Last but not least, I pray that I can follow your example to stay steady, focused, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally fit. Good day, my Father, I would like to say thanks for being you, and how fortunate I feel to have your association and guidance. Love to you. Happy Vyasa Puja. Love your daughter and eternal servant, Namadar Kriya.
Ridiculous medical licenses. All the received and happy to just for today.
Speak to the microphone, but you gotta tell them that way it's better. Yeah, just horizontal. And speak loud.
Okay. Anyway, I just think of, everything I'm hearing everybody say, I'm thinking it's just the perfect thing to say, and I feel like I don't really have anything to offer. But, I guess if I would think of a couple of different things, it's like, I've found my best friend in the whole world. It's somebody that I can reveal my mind to, somebody that I can trust, like 100%, absolutely no doubt with my life. Spiritually, materially, all of that. And then I was thinking about, like, especially lately, for some reason, it's just like been coming up, which I expressed to you not too long ago, is like how much I really love you. And it just keeps coming up over and over again for me. And I was just thinking how it's stimulated by your magnanimity. And what I mean by magnanimity is, your willingness to be, so down to earth and yet so spiritually elevated. And, creating a place where everybody can feel like they're home. And that's what's so special about New Goloka, and I think that's why so many people gravitate to it, is that it feels like home. It really feels like home, and it feels safe. That's the other thing, it really feels safe. And you've created that from the very beginning. Your relationship with the deities and how you express your Krishna consciousness and your love for the deities of Prabhupada and your care for the devotees. Like I remember, maybe it was the last time we were coming back from India, a couple of things, like devotee care. I remember being in the car with Raja and some of the other devotees going to the airport, and I can't remember the complete conversation, but basically, you're kind of joking about every time you go to Goloka, to get some downtime. It ends up, there's like 50, 100, so many people. Brother Ronnie said, well, why don't you just take a break? Just have, tell me about it. And he said, but you don't understand. Basically what you do is you make sure that everybody has exactly what they need spiritually. That's like your main thing, is just making sure. And it's not just your disciples, it's everybody in this Krishna conscious family. You want to make sure that everybody's connected to Prabhupada, that everybody's family, and that everybody has what they need to advance spiritually. And that's the magnanimity. So, because your love for me, which I really, really feel, I know it's not like just for me. It's for everybody. And that's the kind of magnanimity that I'm talking about, you represent, and just but then your willingness to be so open-hearted and down to earth and real and funny. Your humor is just amazing for the heart. There's so many other things that I want to say, I'm sure to save time for the others.
Who's next?
Robert, would you like to say something? I'm making my way to you.
Hi, Krishna Shivagrini. You said so many wonderful things. I think some of the main things is that I really wanted to thank you for your dedication to the school, for which Guatemala has benefited immensely. All the other children who go there. Since Guatemala is my service, and that's very important to me. And I was thinking about how you use everything in Krishna's service, especially technology. When I was watching that initiation that you did some time back, which spanned like many weeks, that was just mind-boggling. And you had to stop in the middle of it to coordinate everything. So I was really appreciating how you took technical responsibility for making this initiation happen. I'm very grateful. I was thinking actually the other day that not all temples are created equal. Krishna is there, but this is a very special place. And even if I would travel and go to another temple, it's not the same. And I'm really, really grateful to be able to come here with this community and these students.
Joshua?
She's my psychiatrist. That's all I know.
Thank you, Shivagrini.
Talk loudly.
Thank you, Shivagrini. Happy Father's Day. All of us. I am so grateful. I want to echo what Jaga Guru said about peaceful, because this has been such a turbulent year. At the same time, I've had peace in my heart, and I know it's due to your mercy. I know directly, and I know that my children are safe here in the Goloka, and my mind is protected, because you were saying recently in one of the classes I got to hear about how we should all go to make this trip to Vrindavan to see the spiritual world. And just like the Muslims do to go to Mecca, that we should also go. And because you're taking the devotees as often as you can, just like what we were saying, that and pray that everyone who has a desire is somehow facilitated to for that, because it leaves such a great impression on the mind that and fills the heart with just peace and love. And I really appreciate you, Srila Gurudev, for giving the Holy Dham to us and making a way for us. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So one thing, some of the temple devotees, maybe we turn tomorrow morning's class into, so the temple devotees can make their offerings in tomorrow morning's class, so we don't have to go to everybody. So that might be more efficient and effective. You know, people are going to be in class tomorrow morning.
Okay, Krishna got a request from Emmanuel and Viviana on Zoom.
Okay. Why don't you get someone else in the meantime?
Okay.
Because it may be a while to get to them.
Lila Shakti is going to read Lila Bhakti's offering, and she wasn't able to come. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, all glories to you, Gurudev. Please accept my obeisances unto thine lotus feet. I'd like to tell a story that happened a little over a year ago while we were living in another temple. We'd already been living there for over 6 months when we approached the temple president for initiation, but we found out that since we were not living in an ISKCON temple, we could not take initiation under his guidance. He gave us a large list of ISKCON gurus who can initiate, and it was overwhelming. So closed our eyes and left it to Krishna to pick the right spiritual Actually, she showed me this notebook, because she keeps everything in a notebook. And she showed me this list that she had written a name down, because she said, so there were 5 names on the list that sort of stood out to her. But the first name on the list was His Holiness Krishna Goswami.
Really?
She actually wrote that name on this list. She keeps all her notebooks, and she never had even heard of Gurudev. She never seen him. She didn't know anything about him, but she just somehow looked at this list and wrote that name down. And then after that, Krishna arranged a lot to make this happen almost a year after. He placed us in the right circumstance, the right place, and the right people, because here we are on this day, and your appearance day, that Kunja Bihari is washing your lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Please forgive me of any offenses. Your humble servant, Lila Bhakti Devi Dasi.
Lila, are you ready to, you can unmute yourself now, I gave you permission.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
It's nice to be able to review my disciples. This is like the best time I've ever had. Anyway, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and to you. In the past year, I've come to appreciate even more how your style of storytelling keeps the hearer engaged by constantly asking questions. All of your classes are constantly turning the spotlight back on the hearer to inquire how their own personal development compares to that of the characters in the past times. I also noticed in the last year how whenever your name comes up with devotees who are not your disciples but have met you, they always have a sweet and personal story to share about their time with you. Thank you for shifting your preaching to a more digital format. It's been giving all us devotees in separation a chance to associate with you more. Thank you for your patience and being receptive of all the souls seeking your guidance. Your servant, Hare Krishna.
Haribol, very nice. If you want to say something, okay, go ahead.
Omigyanatimmirandasya Gananjana Shalakya Chakshum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dear Shri Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, and on your auspicious Vyasa Puja day. Our sincere apologies for not being there in person for you, for your Vyasa Puja this year. I want to express my deepest gratitude to you. Since the day I had the sweetest privilege of meeting you, you have shown me very much, and you have been the torchlight of knowledge that has been guiding me through this material world. Your persistence in practical help and counsel, especially when I have been in doubt or in need, is beyond inspiring to me. You lit up my soul when I first met you. You reminded me of how important empathy and compassion are, which you convey through your lifestyle and teachings. You have shown me how important it is to be in the service of the devotees by your exact example. I will never forget how you helped me to be safe on my first trip to Sacramento by arranging for me to stay with your humble disciples Sudharma and Nilachal Prabhus. You have dedicated your life to serve our dearest Srila Prabhupada, and your level of commitment and austerity for the standards you hold and follow for Srila Prabhupada and our Krishna consciousness movement is igniting and what helps me to aspire to be a better devotee. I admire your dedication and leadership at New Goloka to build the community and the temple there to better serve Radha Golokananda and the devotees. And I have immense gratitude for your persistence in paving the way forward with unity and diversity within our Krishna consciousness movement. It is very encouraging. I always meditate on how fortunate the devotees are at New Goloka to be living in your physical association. I see the tremendous effect it has on them to be in your invigorating presence. Thank you so much for your classes on Srila Prabhupada's books and your elaborate explanations to better help us understand. I pray to be a good disciple and servant to you and the devotees, and I pray that I can develop even a fraction of the willingness you have to better help me serve you. Thank you for all your undeserving mercy you have. And thank you for your dedication to serve and follow Srila Prabhupada's mission. Your aspiring servant, Divya Leela Devi Dasi.
You remember, I think you were going to the Rainbow Festival one time? Yeah. And actually I met her overseas, but she was going to the Rainbow Festival. And I prayed that Krishna would intercede and make sure that she didn't get to the Rainbow Festival. So Krishna did intercede, and she ended up in Sacramento, and just happens to have these really nice devotees, Sudharma and her husband Vilacha, who took care of her. And anyway, Krishna arranged everything. It's funny. Krishna's actually quite funny the way he does things. Trick her, becoming a devotee. All right. Guru. Jai Guru.
Getting all the disciples, what did I have to say on the Zoom? And here, I feel so fortunate, Maharaj. I'm so glad with my family we are here. It's just a special experience, just being a part of all this glorification too. So, on behalf of my family, Maharaj, whenever we see you here, whenever I see you here after you come from the preaching, Yudhishthira Maharaj, here this is Vidura. भगवद्गीता भागवत तीर्थभूता स्वयं तीर्थी कुर्वन्ति तीर्थं स्वामिभस्तेन कदाचित्. That's what comes to me whenever I see you in Maharaj, carrying Krishna wherever you go. And whatever else I have to say is said by all the devotees. It's very clear how nice is a small word, how kind, sensitive you are to everyone that interacts with you, to everyone. And it's just natural of you. And I had this fortune of doing some service under your guidance. It was a stressful situation. But the way you handled the whole thing, there was so much to learn. I wouldn't get that from anywhere. Not from lectures, not from the books, not from anybody else speaking. But when you were responding to that situation in such a graceful and compassionate way, I was thinking in my mind, Maharaj, I mean, I had this only small opportunity that you gave me to serve, and I'm feeling this way. I was thinking all the disciples here and abroad who have so much service to do with you under your guidance. I'm thinking how fortunate they are. How much can they imbibe? And how much they can just learn. So that is awesome, awesome. And as I said, that's not available anywhere else. And I think that's why Bhagavatam says, you have to have a pure devotee association. It is irreplaceable with anything else. So, yes, Maharaj, I have to be short, but I will tell you I've been waiting for this day. Almost since the last puja to express this Maharaj. So, Maharaj, your lectures, the lightheartedness that is palpable in your lectures, even when you are giving an important message, a serious message, and the nice humor that's there is like, you add a little bit of sweet to the bitter medicine and you take it. So that's how you do it, and that's amazing, Maharaj. So the message gets through, but it just gets through so nicely that there is no problem in taking the message. That's awesome, Maharaj. And as Madhav was saying, whenever there is a question, and as the devotees in the Zoom is saying, the answers you send, very precise, concise, to the point and clear. It's very clear too. We don't have to unpack and think what it could be. So that's awesome, Maharaj. Last thing, your steadiness, Maharaj, amazing. And what do I have to say? Everybody knows it, as we are saying. This thing, Maharaj, in the glorification of Narottam Das Thakur, it is said that, it is written on the stone, such a steadiness. And Nirman Moha, Chidasanga Dosha, Adhyatmika Vinavritta Vandvai Vimuktai, Sukadukha Sanya, Gachanti Amuraha, Padavavi, Adam Avinata. Every word of it, Maharaj, every word of that, you actually live that, Maharaj. Nirmana Moha, oh, this thing, Nirmana Moha, that humility, whatever harshness that comes to you, whatever stones of harshness or insults that come onto you, they turn as cotton balls. The stones turn as cotton balls because of the humility that you carry, Maharaj. That's amazing. So that I started, Maharaj. Thank you so very much. Such a pleasure to be here. As Abhinav, yes, you were saying, the whole congregation, the mood of the congregation, and as Mataji was saying, our children, when we come here, they feel like they are coming to a family. We coming, driving from there, when we come here, we actually feel that. So the congregation that we have here, and your association, your guidance and your protection here, we are all very grateful. So from all of us, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Krishna so nicely arranging the Krishna Prashad every day, and all, everything she's arranged for Krishna.
We've got a message on Zoom that Sankirtan and Krishna would like to say offering.
Oh, Krishna wants to say something? Okay, let me get to her first. Why don't we have Lady Chandra?
All right, Lady Chandra.
Child protege. You make an ask about
There are a number of things that I can admire about you and I can talk about, but I would like to today point out specifically three aspects that you, three main points that you have really been instrumental in my life. And firstly, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you accepted me as your disciple just a month or two ago. On the 26th of August, the day after your announcement, you initiated me and you brought me to your shelter. And I just feel so protected, and I feel so unworthy of this mercy that you bestowed upon me. Secondly, I want to really appreciate how you have established this Gurukula, like Mother Ramdevi, she was saying, she was appreciating the Gurukula of yours. And I also have no words to express how thankful I am for it, to get the particular aspects of the Shastras, to learn the Shastras side by side with Vedic knowledge, as Ishapanishad verse 11 says. And I'm very happy to be studying under you and your disciple, Mother Goloka. And it's really nurtured me in my spiritual life. And lastly, I would like to thank you. How you raised me in Krishna consciousness from when I was 5 to now when I'm 10. You raised me these 5 years. These 5 years, it's half of my life. And now, I know that many more lives will be, and many more years, and many more lives will be. So I'm very thankful about this aspect of your mercy. Your mercy is unbounded, and I surely do not deserve it, but I always pray to be in your shelter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No,
Not yet.
he's still 10.
Ready to make an house? Okay.
So you want to ask Krishna on something?
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. Okay, Krishna, you can unmute yourself now. You are allowed to unmute yourself. Okay, speak.
Earlier, Aditya Narayan Prabhu had mentioned that you always focus on the core essential teachings of Srila Prabhupada. And this is exactly my realization about your preaching, is that it's like that bhajan, Kevala Ananda, that it's simple and blissful, your approach to Krishna consciousness. And one of the lessons, inspirations I get from you is that you always get your inspiration directly from the process of Krishna consciousness. And that's how you're able to stay healthy and happy, even doing like so many difficult things like traveling and management. And like really dive into the process. And so getting some inspiration from you, I try to dive into some of the things that really inspire you. So your joy with Govardhan Hill inspired me to create a scale model painting of Govardhan and all the holy places, and to give a presentation about each site around Govardhan Hill. And you also inspired me to study the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. And so, because I know that you're personally very inspired by Prahlad Maharaj, so I wrote a play entitled The Transcendental Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, which I had the Sunday school children perform. So from your interest in Prahlad Maharaj, the whole community was engaged in that. And this is what keeps me involved in my spiritual life, is the way that you've showed me and the way that you show all the devotees how to simply and joyfully every day practice Krishna consciousness. And it's the most important thing. So I very much appreciate that. Thank you, Gurudev.
And Sankirtan, you want to say something? I saw you in the background. She's in, right? I think I saw her.
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, she's here. Oh, am I still unmuted? Excuse me.
Yeah, you're not on mute now. Krishna, she should just use your phone, whatever you use. Sankirtan, you there? Use Krishna. You're in the same place with Krishna, right? Just use her.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just go on her phone. You speak louder. Go close to her phone. Speak louder. Close. Go right up. Put your face right next to the phone.
So I feel very fortunate to have your association for many years. And many devotees do not get association with their guru, or may have never been seen their guru in person. But I feel very fortunate. I was able to have your association in person for many years, since a very young age. And I was able to listen to your classes almost on a daily, and just be personally trained in so many areas.
Speak closer to the phone because it's hard to hear.
The good old days there with in deity worship with and in Srila Prabhupada's books. Also, I was able to go with you to India many times on Parkland. I always get emotional every celebration. But those many years of association have given me a very solid foundation, very strong in my Krishna consciousness. And I really related to that wonderful little 10-year-old boy who was saying he had his association for half your life. And yeah, I can see he's very strong in his Krishna consciousness. And the last time I went with you in India, we did, I was actually proud of myself because I was able to keep up with you for so many miles going quickly around Govardhan Hill. And Gurudev has been such an example of physical fitness. And but then after many hours of going in parikrama, I did become fatigued. And we were always very concerned about taking care of the devotees, so we looked for a rickshaw for me. but it was getting late and there were no rickshaws to be found. So you actually found a farmer and had me go in his wheelbarrow, and then he wheeled me back. um, and you were always very gracious on the parikram, and when we would go in the rickshaws with the devotees, even though you were our guru and spiritual master, you would actually have me go in and take the seat first. And you said that I was the lady and the ladies first. And another time, some people think that the women should just, be set aside and be quiet. But you were always very gracious for the ladies. And one day on Parikram, Gora and I were there, and the men were sitting on the bench. And then you told the brahmacharis, I said, don't you want to let the ladies sit so you can have them get up and stand so that Gora and I could have a seat? So I was very happy to go on Parikram with you, and Krishna and I, we feel very bereft here in Boston. The temple's been closed actually since March, and it won't be opening until next year. So we hope to see you sometime in New Goloka and also go with you again on Parikram. And we just love you very much.
One devotee that's in the UK, Krishna really has to speak now because it's really late for them. So I'm going to let her speak. Krishna. When you speak, we can hear you fine.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Dearest Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet. As I was writing this, my heart was feeling so full, thinking of what it is I should write to offer you on your Vyasa Puja. I can truly never put into words how grateful I am for the endless shelter you give me, even though I'm so undeserving. I'm so fallen, and yet you always pick me up, dust me off, and point me in the right direction. You have such a beautiful and inspiring focus on devotee relationships and how we can best interact with each other, and I can see this in your disciples. I've had the great fortune to be in association with some of your disciples, and they have had such a huge impact on my life. When I speak with them, I can hear you. I can feel your compassionate presence, and I hear your classes through their words. This is the sign of such a great teacher, and I can pray I can someday be like my god siblings who naturally exhibit such love for you and Krishna through their actions. I meditate on Govardhan often. Your pure love for Govardhan inspires me every day and has built a desire in my heart to serve there in any way I can and follow your lotus footprints on Parikram, hopefully again soon. Being in Govardhan with you was the greatest time of my life. I got to see what real love is. These days have never left my mind, and I long for them. You have made your mercy so accessible, and I pray always take advantage of this. Please let me remain at your lotus feet eternally, and may I always serve you in your service to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for everything, Srila Gurudev, as everything I have is because of you. Your lowly servant, Karunamaya Devidasi.
The Tower of Good. She was taking care of the cows in Goloka from Australia. Now she's back in the UK. She's from the UK. Very nice, very dedicated to Krishna's cows. So, it's getting late.
Yeah, 6:12.
There's my report.
All right, so who's next? What?
He would like to speak.
Mike Chandra, who's that? All right, let me get to it. All right, let me unmute.
He said that you have to see this when you hear this offering.
I have to see it before?
You have to see this.
Okay, you're unmuted in my
Please accept my humble obeisance, please.
And actually, that was just surprised on me. I didn't know I was going to be speaking now. Let me, I had a little thing written. So, thank you very much for always tolerating me. Somehow or other, you haven't told me to go away. And I'm very grateful. My only desire actually is that you keep me with you wherever you go, life after life. It's very cheesy sounding, but actually coming from the Vermont experiences and all sorts of other goofy things that I've been exposed to, it's a kind of a big deal that actually all I prefer is that you somehow or other keep me with you wherever you go. People are very much desirous of so many different things without really understanding that everything culminates only to one thing, and that is Guru's pleasure. Because when Guru is pleased, love is awakened in the heart. And so if somehow or other in this life or in some future life, I can do something that pleases you, then love will fully awaken in the heart. So I just please beg you to, even if I'm always just snidely, I'll take it. That's all.
Okay.
I would like to ask you, Goswami, to join us. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to sing it or?
We're grateful for your infinite mercy. And you're like a little star with all the petals that so many different ways in which you can, so many qualities that are ingrained together, and you can see it in every situation. They just blossom in any kind of situation, they blossom. This is a poem that Sri Krishna, Prabhu and myself, we wrote together for you as an offering, humble offering in your lotus feet. Blissfully, beautifully, and shining he stands, inspiring and enlightening he shows the way. Reliably and timely he is there each day. Kindly we see how he shares Krishna's sweet pastimes, radiantly reciting them with love to all. Insightfully and joyfully he sings these lines. Sweetly, smilingly he brings all to Krishna's call. Having a happy heart his voice chimes. Nourishing each sweet soul so they will never fall. Awesomely he leads us through these tough times.
Here is a good poet. He has published books of poetry that I used to enjoy. I won't see books.
Hare Krishna Maharaj said many places. Happy Vyasa Puja. There's so many wonderful things I can say about you. I just more would want to just thank you for always tolerating me, for being so kind, being so patient. As many people have said, you're a very gracious person, and you can manage so many different situations simultaneously. It's pretty unbelievable in my mind. You're always talking to someone in one country or another country, or trying to take care of some devotee here, some devotee there. And then many people say everything you do is in Krishna service, and figure out how to use it in Krishna service. So I mean, I really can't find a better person as an example of what Krishna consciousness should look like. So I want to thank you and appreciate you for that. Hare Krishna.
He's a poet and he runs marathon races. He does everything. He serves Krishna so nicely. Good cook. Who's next? Govinda. Okay. She's an author, but don't give us a book today. Just a few words. She's not at a loss for words. She's written my biography. The name of it is Gone with the Wind.
Jesus being Krishna Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the wonderful service to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for choosing to love us in spite of all our shortcomings. There has never been a time when you were there for us. One time you visited us only to tell us that there is no need to be in anxiety and that if we follow nicely, Krishna takes care. On this most auspicious day of your obedience, we are humbly begging you to finally be able to move close to the temple and to obtain our home in the proximity of the most beautiful and merciful Shri Goloka. Thank you for being who you are. There are no words to describe how much you mean to us. We can just say you are the most important person in our lives. Please, if you so desire, pray for us to become pure devotees in this lifetime. Your insignificant but grateful servants, Kalyan Haridas and Govinda Haridas.
Yes, I was actually just awesome.
Is this loud enough? Is the mic loud enough for everybody?
Yes.
It is. You're on behind the speaker, so I can't hear you that.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept our obeisances, respectful obeisances of your Lordship. I just want to say happy Vyasa Puja. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for giving us shelter, and Holy Spirit, and giving us the opportunity to serve you. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Sorry, we take more wipes.
Short and sweet is good.
I need to.
Happy Vyasa Puja, please accept my obeisances. I'm very fortunate to be here today, celebrating your 70th Vyasa Puja, and I will celebrate more and more. And thank you so much for giving shelter in this community, and also accept me as your disciple and engaging in service of Radha Krishna. And always get to your association. Usually, disciples get spiritual association very rarely, but we give association regularly, and I'm very fortunate to have this association, not just in person, actually even in dreams. And I see you a lot in dreams and also in person. And one very profound dream that I had was I was traveling to another planet, which was falling apart. The planet was falling apart, and there I saw devotees doing Harinam, and they took me to a temple, and there you were preaching in that very, very not so good situation on the place. And then I followed you behind, and then you took me into your quarters, and there I saw Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many books, Srimad Bhagavatam. Then I asked you that, there are 12 candles of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? But you said, on this planet, 100 candles of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it just struck me that, Srimad Bhagavatam is ever expanding. it's not bound to the cantos, and it's a book Bhagavatam, but the person Bhagavat is showing the example every day, every moment. And this Bhagavatam that I see you, that is person Bhagavatam, and this is a Chaitanya Bhagavatam. You're all soldiers of Lord Chaitanya, and you are expanding the Srimad Bhagavatam every day, delivering souls, interacting with the Lord, doing service, reciprocation, so many esoteric things. And I'm very fortunate to be here in this moment. And I know that Srila Prabhupada has created my good fortune, but it is you who are safeguarding it, who are protecting the good fortune of mine. I always beg to remain in the lotus feet, birth after birth, and please always be merciful on me. Your insignificant servant, I give that. Thank you.
Did you want to have temple devotees go tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, she's temple devotee.
Okay. Yeah, there's actually quite a few here who could give their offerings tomorrow.
All right, yeah, anybody can give them tomorrow morning. They should give them tomorrow morning.
Gopinath Acharya, Prabhu?
Namo Buddha, Krishna Goswami. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for creating this wonderful community. Although we haven't had the fortune of spending a lot of time with you, we moved here 2 years ago. People moved from cities, we moved from continents, came all the way from Singapore, and we were very much anxious before coming, just thinking what we will have, what is in store for us. But when we came here, it was such a wonderful community that you have created, Maharaj, with a lot of devotees, with a lot of love. Everybody welcomed us with open arms and open hearts. So it was very nice. And we saw personally how you are engaged in each and every single detail about when this hall was being made, or about, as somebody mentioned, about technological things. I also remember very nicely when you were giving very wonderful lectures around epigenetics. It's such an advanced topic, and you are very easily, sharing that type of a topic with all of us. So your presence itself, Maharaj, here, it creates a lot of purity. And as you said earlier, you were expecting just 20. So many of devotees are here because they're all moved in some way or another. So we're very much grateful, Maharaj, to have, we're very much fortunate that we have your association and blessing. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Very well. Okay, who's next?
Raghunath Prabhu.
Okay. When's the job?
Hare Krishna and Dharma pranams to everybody. First of all, I would like to say Happy Vyas Puja to Srila Buddha, and please accept my humble obeisances unto your divine lotus feet. And I will start my offering with Guru Vandana, the prayers to the spiritual master. Om Jnani Tudasya Jnani Jana Salakaya Chaksuramritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvaya Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Gate Krishna Goswami Ki Namine Namo Hamsanika Saya Prabhupada Priyayate Sudrita Suddhi Nistabhyam Tasya Vakyanu Vane. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, His Holiness Sri Krishna Goswami, Guru Maharaj, who is very dear to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Vyasa Puja. Vyasa Puja is the appearance day, the birthday of one's spiritual master, who is a representative of Vyasadeva, a representative of Lord Krishna. All in the line of disciplic succession, the Guru Parampara. I first met Srila Gurudeva in 2001 when I was working in the airline in Fiji, at Air Pacific Airline, which is now called Fiji Airways. And Gurudev used to travel from Los Angeles to Nandi, which is the only international airport in Fiji. And I used to walk with the airline. So when I met him, I asked a lot of questions on Lord Ramchandra's pastimes and I got interesting answers from him. So back then I was more attached to the Ram form of Krishna and following the footsteps of Hanumanji. The ancestors of my father's side were from Ayodhya Dham near Chitrapur, and my mother's side of ancestors were from Mithila Dham in Bihar, where Mother Sita was born, the king of Janak Maharaj. And so when we used to meet each other, we used to say Ram Ram or Sita Ram. And now Hare Krishna. Knowing that I am more attached to the Ram form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gurudev initiated me as Raghunath Das. Raghunath is another name for Lord Ramchandra, as he was born in the Raghukul. And I am Raghunath Das. First of all, I am Paul Vaishnava's Das and Gurudev's Das. Das and Das actually. Moreover, Gurudev gives nice classes on Lord Ramchandra's pastimes at some of the villages, village programs in Fiji. I like when he sings a kirtan that he himself composed there. And I have just added one line to glorify him. Please help me to glorify him with this one line of singing. Gurudev Jai, Gurudev Jai, Gurudev Jai, Gurudev, Gurudev Jai. Please. Gurudev Jai, Gurudev Jai, Gurudev Jai, Gurudev, Gurudev Jai, Gurudev Jai, Gurudev Shila, Gurudev. Hey. Sorry, I was trying to cut it short. Hey, my friends, Gurudev Ki. Furthermore, I would like to quote two chapters of Valmiki Ramayana, which describe the Guru Mahima, the importance of a bona fide spiritual master. The first one says, "Tina loka nav khand mein, yadi Guru se bada na koi, karta kare na kar sake, Guru kare, so hoye Krishna Gurudev ki." The second one says, "Guru bina bahuni tara bina koi, hari biranchi sankar samhoyi." In Hindi we say, "Bina Guru ke mukti nahi." Guru bina bahuni tara bina koi. It means that in the whole of material world, there is no one other than a bona fide spiritual master, by whose mercy one can get liberation from this material world, from this material existence, and achieve Hari Bhakti. Lord Ramchandra also accepted a spiritual master in his pastimes on earth. Guru Vasishtha was his Gurudev, and Sanipani Muni was Lord Krishna's Gurudev during Krishna's student pastimes on earth. Yeah. Okay, I'll try to cut this for short. So, okay. To all my friends who are inspiring a Guru and looking forward to take the Guru Shastra and get initiated, I would say go for it. Human life is very rare and life is short in this Kali Yuga. And we don't know how long this COVID will last. And also I'd like to take this opportunity as I did not get a chance. I felt sad, very sad to see one of Gurudev's beloved old brother over here, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, leaving us in this pandemic. And I felt like mentioning him and remembering him in his prayers. I attended a lot of Hindi lecture programs for Bhakti Charu Maharaj when I was in Fiji from 2001 to 2009. And that time I was quite young with the students. And whenever he sees me, he calls me, "Oh, Lala, come, sit down, kirtan karo, right over kirtan karo." And the mysterious Lala gets excited and all that. So he was very nice and friendly and very approachable, and he sits down with everybody and anybody and takes prasadam and does kirtan. And I always pray for his departed soul, and There's no doubt that he has gone back to Godhead and he's serving Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna eternally. Now coming back to my Buddha.
Do that next time.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you very much for that.
Okay.
I apologize to the Prabhupada.
Let's ask Vijay, would you like to speak? Hello, Maharaj. Happy to share. Maharaj, I will be very short because of the time. I just want to say that thank you very much for guiding my day, starting from the Jupiter and Mangala Aarti, starting from Krishna and then ending from Krishna again in the evening. I look forward to your class. Maharaj, in the deep of my heart, I know that you are always there for me. Whenever I have a question, you are so easily approachable. As you are such an exalted self-like soul, and I know that I will get the right response. I just want to mention that Maharaj is a great scientist too. He came to NC State and gave a lecture at Seva Bhakti Yoga Club, and he scientifically proved that scientifically and statistically proved that to the students that life cannot come from nature. And once the students were convinced, students said, okay, fine, we agree that it is a divine presence, now what should we do now? And Maharaj so humbly and lovingly told them, then you should think what is the purpose of your life is. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this new Goloka community. And Shri Radha Gopananda, I don't know where I would have been without your association and the Yogi Association. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. I'd like to ask Sudevi Gopi and Manohar Gopal. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. I have nothing to say. It's like I have no words. We came to New Goloka and we were born spiritually. Before that, we never came to know what Krishna consciousness is. You gave us life then, and then we started aspiring, and we could have never been initiated without your help. So we always say that before coming to Krishna, we should pray to our Gurudev. But before I pray to my Gurudev, I pray to you. Because without your mercy, we can't get connected to my Gurudev. Thank you, Maharaj, for accepting our son. He is your son. He was just born to us. Giving him everything he needs, like we don't know what we would have done without the Gurukul and the temple over here. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Now another one child is here.
Do we have an education tomorrow?
His Holiness Srila Gurudev, Srila Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Actually, I would say, I wanted to say so many things, but already devotees have said so many things. But with a grateful heart, I would say that I'm always grateful to you for making this community, because of this community, I got connected to the Krishna consciousness philosophy. Otherwise, I don't know where we would be and what we would be doing in a material thought process. We were from Odisha area and very close to Jagannath Puri, but we knew very little about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And coming to the destination, we understood exactly what his position is. And thankfully, also knowing about Srila Prabhupada coming here, and then we have never met Srila Prabhupada. I always think that when we see you serving, we would always imagine that we are actually looking Srila Prabhupada in your life as a kind of image, Srila Prabhupada's image and Srila Prabhupada's mission, everything coming through you.
And we think that Srila Prabhupada is manifesting in your form so that we can actually be moving forward. And thank you for giving shelter to our son, who actually is under your shelter because of studying the PKG Academy. And also one thing I would always say that miraculously your compassionate nature is amazing. That we were not thinking about initiation this year, and it happened by your mercy, and by your mercy, Shriradhar Maharaj gave us initiation on the Radhashtami day. And because of your compassionate nature, it is possible. And so much I could say, but I would say that we pray that you get your shelter and your association for a longer time, and you remain healthy, and we can associate with you for the time, and then under your shelter we can do whatever service is given to us with the mood of serving Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's mission. Thank you very much.
So, what else? He's not one of the Can you speak louder? Into the microphone, I can hear a word you say.
Respectful obeisances to you, Maharaj, and great enthusiasm to the way. I'm extremely thankful to you for taking me as your disciple. I can't believe that I am here without having seen. And I was thinking Karuna has just made me attend your lectures every day, and you are close to us, and you are every day you're giving lectures, and it's like nectar, and you're making good progress because of your
Short and sweet. If you feel like GBC made, you get 1 minute to speak, you get the bell.
Pamadopi would like to say something.
Pamadopi.
Hi, Krishna Gurudev. I have been meditating on what I would like to say because, as I'm sure everybody else here understands, there's a lot that can be said and that we want to say. But really, the main, most important thing that really strikes me about you and this place, this Dham that we are here in, is that you are able to bring out the best in everybody around you because you're so kind and compassionate. And this Goloka is like your expansion in that way, that even when you're somewhere abroad, somewhere else in the world, being here makes me feel alive and acknowledged and welcome for who I am. And I know my husband feels the same way. He really feels himself here, and it's all by your mercy. Thank you so much for your compassion and your kindness. Hare Krishna.
Remember?
Not for itself. Everything else I think I do.
Someone turned off the lights and then turned them on.
Oh,
Okay, Shreya would like to speak.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. One thing I have to thank you so much for is this community. They've become an extended family, truly. I don't know what I would be doing without everyone here at New Goloka. And when I say that, anything I have in me is because of these devotees. I really mean it. Thank you for giving us a family, and thank you for being our spiritual father. Thank you for engaging us in the service of life and Mahatma, and allowing us to experience and portray such esoteric pastimes through dance, which means that we have to feel it for ourselves. And thank you so much for, not that I am, but I hope one day, thank you so much for engaging us in all these services. Thank you so much for coming to our level, speaking to us, and being so kind to us. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, Sridhar would like to speak. I don't think it's fair that my sister is being acting me. So I just wanted to say that first of all, thank you for creating this community where I grew up, and I don't know where I'd be without this community where I happily call home. And all the devotees, the whole Dham is like my everything, and I'm so thankful for you for creating this place where I constantly come in, every memory I make is awesome. And also, I'd just like to say, your classes are so amazing. When I was younger, I never sit for any classes, but when I knew you would come to NC and you were giving your class, I would, oh, Mark is giving this class, I have to stay back. I'm actually going to listen to class today. And the fact that you could make a 6-year-old me sit in class, that's just amazing. And also, and 13-year-old me. And every day, not every day, when it comes to Mongol Arabic, the fact that you keep me awake in your body from classes is also amazing. And then lastly, very lastly, we shared about the great fortune of performing the Ida Madhava. So thank you for engaging me in that service. And I got to go to temple so many times. Even though it was very stressful to do Ida Madhava in 3 weeks, we still managed. And I also got to go to temple so many times, which is super awesome. And we got association with all the temple devotees. And I'm so thankful that you gave me the opportunity to do that. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Because they're going to do the whole week tomorrow by Diwali, right?
That's the plan.
How many hours is it? 3 hours?
I don't know for sure yet. That's probably going to be about 2 hours. We're doing a bridge version. We can, on a bridge, it would be 6 to 7 hours.
Anyway, we're looking forward to that. That's going to be Diwali time.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Lisa Madhava is a wonderful book written, or a play written by Sri Goswami about Krishna in Goloka after he died. Okay, well.
Sarna also would like to say something.
All right.
I of course, I feel the same way my sisters feel. I just feel I don't want to multiply exactly what they said.
Close to the microphone.
Okay. So I feel the same exact way my sisters feel. We've grown up the same way, right? So we have the same things to say, and I don't want to just keep everyone sitting here. And I know you have to wake up early, Maharaj, so I want to keep you up. So thank you so much, and for wherever I look, I'm surrounded by home, surrounded by devotees and disciples. They're influencing my life so much, and you're yourself, Maharaj. I'm so fortunate to be in your association constantly. And I'm not even one of your disciples, but I think it's amazing, all that you've done for this community, all that you've done for me. I'm just so fortunate to have grown up here and continue to grow up here. Thank you, Maharaj.
She also grew up here.
Thank you, Maharaj. Please come and humble businesses. Happy Vyasa Puja. Shamala Kishore and I, we often talk about how grateful we are that we grew up here and how encouraging you were for the children, and how you would ask us to lead kirtans and play mridanga, and not all girls of our generation have that opportunity to actually do that. And also I'm just so seeing your encouragement now, also how your hand is sparking everybody and
helping people to use their inclinations in Krishna service. Recently, when I was asked to give class, and I was so flabbergasted that you were sitting there in the audience, because I never would expect, usually I would be sitting in the audience and you would be speaking, but you were so encouraging, and the fact that you allow us to do these things, and you encourage us to speak, to lead kirtans, to do other things in Krishna service is so amazing. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for always encouraging us and guiding us. And like my husband said, thank you for guiding us after the departure of my Guru Maharaj. It's really meant a lot to us, and please continue to guide us. Thank you.
All right.
Is there anyone else here who would like to speak? I know some people will be speaking tomorrow in the temple.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else here who would like to speak? And I guess we have Zoom people as well.
Nobody else volunteered. I just do.
Okay. All right. Oh, she or she would like to say something.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
What I heard.
Hare Krishna, Master. Growing up in Krishna consciousness, the main emphasis in the Prabhupada learned to was Srila Prabhupada made a house in which the whole world could live. It took 24 years growing up in Brooklyn to come to a temple where I saw that the person in charge of the temple actually saw to it that was a place that everyone had a way to engage their service with devotees. Thank you very much.
And yeah, actually I gave Arjuna the gift that he appreciated the most. I won't tell you what it was. I will. It was a gun. It was the only inheritance I got from my father. Tomorrow, he's going to speak tomorrow. All right, should I speak now?
Yes, please.
Okay, I won't speak for a long time. Actually, I was planning to speak for a long time. So, Om Ganat Timanandasha, Ganat Janat, Shlakaya, Jakshura, Minitam, Yena, Tasmai, Shikura, Maha. So, I was actually planning on doing a whole class on the Guru Ashtaka, but there's not enough time for that. Going through each verse and explaining the position of the spiritual master. So, I think I'll just express my gratitude towards everybody, and hearing all these different appreciations from everybody. It's not that I'm actually thinking, oh, I'm so great, I'm so compassionate, I'm so wonderful. If I was thinking like that, I'd be finished. I'm thinking that somehow or other, Srila Prabhupada is allowing me to be his instrument. And actually, in Srila Prabhupada's compassion, whatever good qualities people see in me, and I know about all the bad qualities. I'm not going to elaborate on them. But whatever good qualities people see in me is actually because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. It's really because of that. Because when I chant this nice prayer before class, Om Ganat Timanandasha Ganat Janat Shlakaya Chakshura Minitam Yena Tasmai Shikura Maha, I really understand that I was born in the darkness of ignorance. I mean, and eating all sorts of abominable things that I cannot even mention, and having so much abominable association. And then Prabhupada just lifted me up. And how did he lift me up? It's very interesting. He lifted me up by giving me the transcendental sound vibration of Bhakti Lata Beach. I mean, that's the key. The key to spiritual purification is not some mental adjustment, philosophical adjustment, but actually to purifying yourself by hearing the holy name from a pure devotee. The first time I heard his Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada chant was on the radio. It was 1968. And then my whole life changed. I was like Ravana, or not even as good as Ravana, because Ravana at least is Vedic. Ravana was hospitable with the Brahmanas. Of course, his diet was, there was something left to be desired in his diet, because he ate human beings. I wasn't so bad in my diet as Ravana. But anyway, I was just pursuing the path of material advancement, at the behest of my mother, of course, who wanted me to be a doctor. Nothing wrong with doctors. So I was pursuing the path of material advancement, feeling very proud of myself in many different ways. And all of a sudden, when I heard Prabhupada chanting on the radio the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, my life changed because of Prabhupada's mercy. Everything was just like 180 degrees reversed. Just by hearing Prabhupada, I lost all interest, in material things. And it was really hard for me to study university after that. Now, one thing is I'm not discouraging people from going to the university, as one disciple here, Krishna, will tell you. He also lost interest. And I said, you got to continue it. Another disciple, that was Jayashree, who was here previously, she wanted to drop out. I said, no, you got to continue for Krishna. So it's really important to see how everything can be connected to Krishna's service in the spirit of Yukta Vairagya. Anyway, so I basically lost all interest in anything except for Krishna consciousness. And my whole life changed just because I heard once from His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And whatever advancement I've made is due to Prabhupada's association, being dedicated to Prabhupada's mission, and to chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Whatever qualities anyone may see is due to that. So the point is that this is open to everybody. It's not that I'm unique. I'm just like a regular, whatever, old person. Old, right? But it's not that I'm a unique person. Everybody has that opportunity to grab hold of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, be dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's mission, chant the holy name regularly, strictly, follow good sadhana, and then all good qualities will come about. And all of you, everyone here, should take that as their mission. Because Srila Prabhupada wanted an army of spiritual masters. I mean, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he advised those who he met, especially in South India, people who wanted to follow him, he said, stay home, Stanis Tata Shritigatam Tan Manobir. Remain where you are and take shelter of the holy name, and then Yori Dekatari Kara Krishna Deshmara Dari Guru Hoy Tare Desh. Become gurus. So Prabhupada wanted every one of his followers, actually everyone in the whole world, to become a guru. And that means good example, good practices, and understanding the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. In this way we can fulfill Prabhupada's desire to change the world. As the Bhagavatam states, Zintadvad Visargo Ganatagavi Prabhu Yasmin Patisloku Bhagavachapi Namananantasha Yashoni Gitani Yachran Bhakti Kayanti Vinanti Yat Sadhapa. That this movement is meant for creating a revolution in the misdirected lives of an impious civilization. And that requires everyone to take up this task. So, I'm sitting here today and I'm not feeling very qualified, but by Prabhupada's mercy I may be exhibiting a few things. And so by Prabhupada's mercy, you can all exhibit the good qualities that I heard about today. Every single one of you, by Prabhupada's mercy, being dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's mission, and actually, yes, being concerned about your own spiritual advancement, that's true, but primarily concerned with pleasing Prabhupada, as the last verse of the Shikshashana states, not Shikshashana, Guru Ashtaka, sorry. Yasha prasada bhagavat prasada, yasha prasada nam niti katopi. That by the mercy, and I'm saying of Srila Prabhupada, who is everyone's guru, Siksha Guru, maybe not Diksha Guru, most of you not Diksha Guru, but Siksha Guru is actually more important. If you look at our Sampradaya, many of the links in our Sampradaya are Siksha links, that means instructive links, not initiating links. For example, you have Baladev Vidyabhushan, who is a disciple of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And that's a Siksha link. And that's one of the strongest connections between the two of them. So this is important. So everybody should be accepting Srila Prabhupada as the primary Shiksha link. And then every one of you can become, hopefully one day I'll become a saint, but anyway, then every one of you can become Guru, saint, and save the world. It's just a question of having faith in Krishna's pure devotee. What is the evidence that Srila Prabhupada is the most exalted disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? His faith in the words of his spiritual master. That's all. Yasha Deve Parabhaktir, Yasha Deve Pita Guru, Dashaite Katita Yarda, Prakashante Mahamana. Another verse. That one has implicit means complete faith, willing to do or follow what you believe in. That's the definition. Then everything is revealed to you. All good qualities come about. It's simply that. It's very, very simple, the process of Krishna consciousness. Simply having that implicit faith. And, whatever I am, but I do have that implicit faith in Prabhupada. And I just want to be Prabhupada's eternal servant, life after life after life. And by that mood, I can say that I'm not separated ever from Prabhupada. I do not feel, in one sense, any different than when Prabhupada was on my mind. In fact, I feel closer to Srila Prabhupada now. So we're inviting you all to grab the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. That means, as Prabhupada said, these lotus feet are always moving. So it's a moving target, so to speak. And what are they moving and doing? They're moving and doing preaching, spreading Krishna consciousness, sharing it. And sharing it, I like better that word than preaching. Because sharing it means that we have something nice that we can share with someone, but also we're concerned with someone and adjust our presentation according to what the person is ready to hear. And every one of you can do that. I'm just one person, Every one of you can open up many temples. So, I think that's the message for today. So we want to proceed because it's 7 o'clock. It's time for what? All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We request the temple devotees to come to the morning program. Morning program, so that they can do their offerings. Those who haven't gotten a chance to speak their offerings, we request them to come to Mangalarti. And Dr. Prodigy. So one thing I wanted to mention is that every morning we have the morning program online, both on MyWord TV and also on my Facebook channel. So you're welcome to join with us. And if you look at the Facebook channel, the camera is zooming in and out, and Brajalila here is doing such nice work. She sacrifices her whole life to just sits there while everybody else is dancing wildly. She just sits there and operates the camera just out of a mood of service to all the Vaishnavas. I want to thank Goswami for doing such a nice job of the temple. And Tota Gopinath for supporting. In the beginning, I was doing everything, getting the temple, chopping down trees, chainsaw, and everything like that. And then I was even doing the deity worship in the beginning, then Mother Krishna Priya kicked me off the altar. Because I was dressing the deities in too wild a fashion. I was bringing in all the branches from the forest to make it look like Vrindavan. And I had all these birds, plastic birds I brought in, so. And then, now I've been kicked out of the mountain. Okay, so what are we going to do now?
No, Pradesh Rada was cooking the evening offering. And she's hoping to say something briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to say something for both my dear Guru Maharaj. And please accept my humble witness. All glories to Shiva. All glories to you. Wishing you a very happy Vyasa Puja and Appearance Day. This year we are extremely fortunate to have you this year. In Goloka and giving enlightening classes on the Vedic scriptures every day. Thank you.
Take off the mask, so we can do that.
Thank you so much for inviting me in my spiritual life. I always pray to Sri Radha and to keep you in good health and conditions. Thank you so much for everything. What you do.
Arti, okay, and then John?
Yes.
John.
So everyone can come and offer flowers. And you can also, if you have a gift for your name with a basket there, you can place it in for if it's a large gift, you can put it on the side there with some bags. So do we have someone to lead?
Who's going to lead which one?
Are we doing Pushpanjali first or?
The same time as the RT.
So we're going to Pushpanjali.
The same time as the Arti? Pushpanjali is the Om Gadam, whatever.
Right. But we're doing art as usually for the month of parents.
You're going to do Arti first?
Okay.
I think normally it's Pushpanjali.
You normally do Pushpanjali first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so.
All right. Pushpanjali means worship with flowers. And maybe the Narayan could recite one of those charity prayers.
Om Adhyana Punyadasya Nanjana Rakaya Surun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Ramayam Dagati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta
Sadhutam Vaidana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Viradha Krishna Pada Sagana Varita Krishna Hey Krishna Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajatine Nirvishesha Punyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Parshvanavi Jai Devi Jai Taya Radhe Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Aine Prove Namaha Madhuryamdara Premadhya Rupanga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murte Dinadarine Goloka Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishwaraya Sakshat Vairagya Murte Vikramar Sambodhe Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Gauranugamarayate Gaura Vibhava Bhuveshma Vedeshta Satya Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhoma Karnathaya Te Namaha Vanchakalpa Karubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Kushe Namaha Tattvakamam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktavyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jaya Surato Pambo Mamo Mandana Vedate Matsarvasya Padambojo Radha Vadanohana Divya Vrindana Kenta Pudrumata Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prestani Visedamano Smarami Srimad Rasasarambhi Vamsi Vatatasita Vaishnaveno Suher Gopi Sri Gopinath Gopinath Srestuna
Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now we offer prayers to His Holiness Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and we offer 3 times, and we offer Pushpani at the end of each prayer.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Shrimate Vir Krishna Das Goswami Iti Namine Namo Hamsa Nikashaya Prabhupada Priyayate Shudrida Shudinishtavyam Tasya Vakya Duvadine Esha Pushpanjali Swami ki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Shrimate Vir Krishna Das Goswami Iti Namine Namo Hamsa Nikashaya Prabhupada Priyayate Shudrida Shudinishtavyam Tasya Vakya Duvadine Esha Pushpanjali Krishna Goswami Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Shrimate Vir Krishna Das Goswami Iti Namine Namo Hamsa Nikashaya Prabhupada Priyayate Shudrida Shudinishtavyam Tasya Vakya Duvadine Esha Pushpanjali
His Holiness Krishna Goswami Maharaj Gurudeva.
Joldi Arti.
Shri
Thank you all, and I introduce Krishna now, everybody. What's the system with Krishna?
They're setting it up and tape, or they can. It's over. I think people are gonna tape here. And they're
That was great dancing.
Thank you for engaging
Amazing, you're an amazing dancer. It's she's training up a whole new generation of dancers now. Okay,
Okay, I'll go with that. I can come after 5 minutes.
Probably the rest of these lights are broken over there. So pretty. You did that? Oh, you should come tomorrow morning and take Another way. Oh, it's fun.